Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy OG Black. Smash like, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. Hit that little OG button on the bottom. Remember, guys, my Patreon and PayPal is open. I'm once again going to bring you guys something very interesting, something that nobody's talking about. Something I think you guys all should know at home. A little history about someone that you guys seem to think is an idol. Someone who you guys think is, oh my Lord Jesus, he invented the game. Yeah, he probably invented a lot of things, but he also doing a lot of things. A lot of people always say, OG Black, do you think El Señor de los Cielos is dead? I've always said, and I'll repeat it again, no. From the stories that I knew about my grandfather and what my grandfather had told me about him, was that El Señor de los Cielos was still alive. That he was working for the DEA. That his supposed death was helped by the Mexican government and US government. It was a deal. The deal was that they were going to fake his death and that he was going to end up helping them out and telling them everything, helping them with arrest, with getting people locked up, getting people going to jail. And some of you might be saying, why OG Black? Are you bringing this story to us? Why are you telling us this about Amado Carrillo Fuentes? Um, OG Black, I used to think he was an idol. You know what I mean? I grew up listening to stories about him. What are you doing, OG Black? You're ruining him. I'm trying to bring you guys the truth, man. To tell you the truth, like I've told you before, this life doesn't get you anything. You don't get anything out of it. You end up dead. You end up with no family. You end up what's happening to the Carrillo Fuentes right now. The things I've been talking about have been coexisting and going piece for piece. If you guys can see, I'm gonna bring the importance of this to you guys once again. Paperwork. In Mexico, paperwork is getting really, really important right now, and I'm gonna tell you why. When Chapo Guzman got arrested, or El Señor Guzman Loera got arrested, he got something really important. He got to see his accusers. He got to see who ratted on him. He got to see who was on his side. He got to learn how the U.S. government operates with their deals. Remember, Chapo had been working with them, in cahoots with them, and doing a lot of things for a long time. He's learned the game. He's learning the game. He's adapting to the game. Once again, OG Black will say that he believes that the Chapitos or the Menores are the future of the game. Why? Their dad's still in good health. He's old enough where the U.S. government trusts him and knows that working with him is all right. Working with Miles Zambada has been great for years, and the U.S. government probably doesn't deny that. Their intel probably says it's time to terminate that asset. It usually says that in the bottom of the FBI profiles when they're done using rats and informants. Carrillo Fuentes, from my understanding, has been hiding out in Europe, has been seen and been told on because he is a government witness. He is what they call a protective witness. He is actually what they call the first protective witnesses. Not only is he el Señor de los Cielos, but they're also saying he's the first Señor de los Ratones. El Cartel de los Sapos, which means the cartel of the rats. Now, do I believe a lot of this? I do. Cienfuegos, Nieto, a lot of them have publicly said that they have a lot of stories about him that people don't know. The paperwork for these cartels is coming back. The Menores are a good example of how El Carrillo Fuentes family could be working with the U.S. government. I don't think it's true in all that aspect, but I'm going to give you an example of people that they believe he's testified against and helped get arrested. Chapo Guzman and Senor Loera, his cousins, the Beltran Leybas, Chapo's cousins, the Ariano Felix brothers, and the Zambada brothers. Now I'm going to tell you why I know so much information about this. I actually saw a piece of paperwork where it said that person who was the asset of the reason of the arrest was a confidential informant, and not because they couldn't release a name, they weren't going to release a name. Um, my understanding is that when they become something like what Amaro Carrillo Fuentes, remember, he knew all the Colombians, he knew all the drug routes, he knew a lot, guys. He knew a lot. You know, he made a choice. Remember, he's always a smart guy. You know, usually the first guy that's the smartest makes the first deal. He's usually the smart one. He's trying to make a deal right off the bat. And he was a smart man. He was an innovator. Um, you know, people said that they had him hiding in Hong Kong, then Turkey, and then he went to Romania, and then he ends up right now in North Africa. Who knows where people get this intel? OG Black isn't saying it's true, but it's just food for thought. Because I'm going to get into the second part right now of what I'm trying to get to. You know, they killed Cesar. Now they killed this other one. And people are like, oh, I thought he died of an accident. Let me tell you guys something. Those Cessna planes are very light. One thing they're good at is pulling up. Why? Because the engine doesn't have to be on. It's a great glider plane. It's actually used to train most anybody in who's learning a plane. Why? Because they're light. They move. You can pull them good. They react very well. And they're mechanically inclined, and you learn a lot on them. Now, from my understanding, what people have told me is that I know that if your propellers are not what they call an operational mode, full operational mode, any kind of sudden movement with turbulence and g-force, you're done. You know, these guys definitely are going to be going through um, training school for pilot schools, but usually the people that are training them aren't even accredited or known pilots. Now, most of these planes sit in hangars where they have access to almost anybody who can get onto the runway. Now, people are saying his death is suspicious. To me, it's just another way the Guzmans or the Beltran Leyvas or the Ariano Felixes are just cleaning the slate. You know, a lot of people don't understand is that this war on terror, this war in Mexico is definitely causing a rift. Out with the out and in with the new. And if you ain't with it, it's either you get down or you lie down. You know what I mean? The Menores have made it clear that it's plata or plomo, homie. You know what I mean? And it ain't no joke. There's definitely a rupture in the top hierarchy all the way down to the lower hierarchy. The cells that people have are starting to become their own organizations. Guys become having money from one area to another area, are able to ship drugs and make a lot of money. Now, the plaza that this man held, that died in that airplane, was very important. His death opens up the window for Osel Cardenas Jr., El Toro. You know, there's three factions fighting for Juarez. Trevinos, the Trevinos, Osel Cardenas, and what was left of the Fuentes family that mostly everybody naturally said they were heirs to the throne. Okay? Huevo mostly fighting the government. That's what he is doing. He's fighting the government and doing his drug deals in Texas and fighting the government. Now, Jose Cardenas, El Toro, oh, he's been wreaking havoc. You know what I mean? It's your boy OG Black. Hope you guys like it, man. Smash, like, subscribe. It's Friday. Let's get these dudes.